Hello everybody,
Hello, I'm Joanna.
and I'm James, and today we're going to be talking about lead and follow in ballroom and Latin American dancing. So what do we mean by lead and follow, first of all? We better have a little chat about that, hadn't we? So it's not a dictatorship, it's not something that's incredibly forceful between the two of you, although there obviously is a sense of physicality. It's actually a relationship that we set up between the two of us so that we can dance together. And that's a rather nice thing, we think. Lead and a follow is a really great thing to set up between the two of you, and it brings the dance to life. So I think probably one of the most important things is to understand our roles. So we have two different roles, and it doesn't matter whether it's Joanna or myself. One of us is going to be the leader, one of us is going to be the follower. And in those two roles, we have two slightly different jobs to do. I feel that the leader's role is a thinking role, or you're more conscious about what you're dancing in a physical way, and that information has to be passed and give some options and some questions and some choices for the follower. So the follower's role is a little bit more of a feeling role, a reactive role.
I like that.
A feeling role. And I think in that sense, if we think of it in those two terms, it's a little bit different to the two of us dancing some agreed steps exactly at the same time in the same place. So we should have a slightly different working relationship. There's nothing wrong with trying it the other way round. That's fine, as long as we're clear that one of us is going to initiate a movement and the other one is going to feel and choose, and it is a voluntary thing really, we hope it's going to be cooperative, it's going to choose whether to follow that information and make something work together out of it. So, this actually starts from the very beginning of when we start a dance. So we've got to have that in our heads first. So for instance, if we took a ballroom hold and we're already half a metre apart there, the arms are a little bit floppy, there's very little information that we can pass between the two of us. I could do something completely independent of what Joanna's dancing, and it wouldn't match together. So in our ballroom hold, we want to make sure first we get our body weight forward, we place it together, each other's right side front in our normal position. There's tone through the arms, but it's not strong and physical and interfering with each other. It's actually just setting up a nice frame of reference which is undisturbed. And in that way, if we can get our body weight forward, connect the bodies together, or very, very light, we can just feel clothing between the two of us, and then we should be in a good position where we can start to react and give a lead and follow for each other. So if we just have a little walk around, you can have a little walk around as well, just on the spot. Don't do anything too much. Just feel a little weight transfer, one foot to the other foot, and feel that you're cooperating with each other from the outset. And then you're ready to move. Off we go. Whee! Okay? So try and make sure before every dance, exactly the same is true for Latin as well. So if we were going to dance a rumba or a cha-cha-cha, if I gave a single hand hold, it's no good if this hand is completely disassociated with the body for the leader. It wouldn't pass any information. It's a bit like overcooked spaghetti, and we don't like that, do we? So when we go to dance, make sure your posture is good. Feel when you offer your hand out, it's with an intention and an invitation, and then connect the two bodies together so we can feel that they're beginning to speak to each other. There's a little bit of elastic between the two of us before we even start moving. Isn't that amazing? Before we dance, we're already dancing. So if you keep that in our heads before every single dance, that really sets the tone from the outset of, right, we're going to dance this dance, we're going to have a lead and a follow relationship. Leaders, you've got to be prepared to dance your actions really clearly. That takes a lot of knowledge in your body, your rise and fall, the amount that you're going to travel, the speed, the direction, the turn, when does that happen? And you've got to pass that information to the follower, and that's an awful lot of processing going on. And at the same time, the receptors over here, they're hoping to react to all that really clear information. And leaders, let's take it, it's always going to be clear, isn't it? Yes, this is where we nod and agree. It's never going to be perfect, but 99% of the time, hopefully, you'll have a really clear lead and follow from the outset, if you think of it in that way. quite a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot to think about, definitely. Right. Now, let's show you some exercises. So we can practice our relationship in dancing, obviously. First exercise we can pick two very similar starting figures. And then leaders, you're obviously not going to communicate verbally to your partner which one of those you're going to dance.
Oh, it's a test. Test of lead and follow.
It is a bit of a test, yes. So, for example, in a waltz, we can dance a close change, starting with leader's left foot, or a whisk. So, close change, you all know this as a basic, step, side, and close. Okay? Whisk to promenade position. Leader starts the left foot, follows the right. We go step, side, and cross behind to the promenade. Right, we're going to show you how this exercise might work. So James is going to pick one of those figures, and I have absolutely no idea which one.
Freedom of choice.
And he needs to lead clearly, and I need to try to be receptive to all the information he's passing to me to follow that nicely. That was nice whisk. So was that your intention?
It worked. That was my intention, and it worked, didn't it? That's good news.
Let's try another one.
Okay, might be the same, could be different. I'm not going to let you know.
Did I pass?
There's no fooling you tonight. There's no fooling you at all.
There you go. An exercise. So you can choose two similar starting figures in different dances, in the waltz, in the quick step, in slow foxtrot. You can dance either reverse turn or the fall away if you have enough space. You can choose some from the Latin department as well. So cha-cha, rumba, quite a lot of figures start in a normal hold or double hand hold, and your partner will just gonna have to be switched on to different body motions and arms movements in Latin. So she will follow.
But no clues, leaders. Zip. Don't say anything. You've got to physically dance it really clearly and then hope for the best.
Yes. So that brings us to the next point of those exercises. It's actually leaders not saying anything.
Okay.
So here, James is actually not going to tell me even which dance we're going to dance.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know what dance, Latin or ballroom, which particular dance. I don't know which figure he's going to dance. So I'm just going to wait to how he's going to set us up, and then hopefully try to follow the clues. No music, because that would be misleading. Well,
only clue is me. I'm feeling under pressure now.
So,
right, okay.
Okay, so we're going for Latin hold.
It's
that
working
narrows
already.
it down to 5. Okay, so we're having nice rumba basic.
It was the rumba. Didn't she guess well?
Honestly, we didn't pre-agree that. So that was a little bit rumba basic. So from the outset, we had the Latin hold, and then so I switched on to following and feeling through the frame more than through the body connection, as I would in ballroom. And then just generally follow the direction and the speed of the body movement, and then I just dance.
Marvellous, isn't it?
I didn't even have to know the name.
It's easy, really, isn't it?
Luckily I do. It's easy, always easy when you know how. But there's something fun for you to practice. Choose different things, but just leaders, don't tell your partner anything, and just see if you can communicate. Right, one more exercise?
Oh yeah, go on, give us another
Ready
one.
Ready for it? Okay, this is my favourite actually, and involves shutting followers' senses. So generally, the main sense is the vision, and then next one is the hearing of the music and other clues from your leader. So I'm going to close my eyes, and if you want to really stir things up, you can give your follower headphones with different music on.
This is really good practice. We used to practice like this as well.
I'm going to borrow from Teddy.
There would be me training with our normal music, and there would be Joanna listening to some completely different music at the same time with her eyes closed. And the role is there not to anticipate the music, is to take the feel of the timing from the leader. And it's quite a difficult little exercise, but it gives you the idea. So you'll look a bit like this, followers, yeah, with your eyes shut. Okay, I'm over here at that time.
Shutting my eyes.
So now, leaders, it's your job to really take care of your follower and to encourage the correct action from yourself and try and pass it as clearly as possible to your follower.
Okay, so we're in ballroom hold.
So then we can dance whatever we want to.
That was whisk and chasse, wasn't it?
Whisk and a chasse, yes.
Gosh, hold on.
Normally we would have had some music on in the background, so I take the timing from the waltz music, and then Joanna takes her timing from me rather than the music that's being played.
If you don't have two sources of music, just practice in silence as well. That works.
Not so entertaining though, is it?
Definitely not so entertaining, but obviously if the follower doesn't have a clue from the music, the tempo and the speed and what dance it is, then it makes it more difficult, but also much nicer and more interactive exercise. So
3 really good exercises to practice your lead and follow then.
Yes, something fun to try at home.
Good. Right, so I think as well as thinking about our the way we can train in positive reinforcement for lead and follow, it's also good to have an awareness of where things might start to break down a little bit. So if we give a few examples of perhaps in the ballroom dances, quite commonly we see a beautiful body weight connection between the two of us can get lost if we went to an outside partner position. So when we're stepping ahead on the outside partner position, there's lots of these in foxtrot, quick step, these feature quite heavily. So what we want to avoid when we're dancing an outside partner step is it becoming a whole body experience. There is a little shift in the hip position. So we've got lots of different hip positions in the ballroom, and it's good to know where they all are. There's a tiny little shift of hip position, but we must make sure we feel that we stay in front of each other. It's no good, you won't like this very much, I'm afraid, if I take an outside partner step and it's a whole body experience where we end up side by side. So can you see what we've done to the hold there? This is not the good example, by the way. This is not the good example at all. Instead, we want to feel that we stay in front of each other. We can still feel each other's top, front, right rib, and that outside partner step, it's a foot position rather than a whole body experience. And now, if we just close the feet here, we'd be in our normal position again. So an outside partner position, it doesn't mean the complete loss of that relationship where you're in front of each other and there's no overlap anymore. We want to stay overlapped, at least in our top portion, and make sure it's a foot position. And that will help you with the next step. So normally, leaders, if we're thinking about quick step, when you do a right foot forward outside partner position, it initiates a next action. And that action, when you're together, can be much more clearly read, rather than if you've danced an outside partner position in your hip to hip. Hip hip.
Great.
Ooh. Right, so there's one, outside partner position, and then I think another good place to watch out for is anytime you switch from promenade position and out of promenade position again, and really being aware of where those things are. So if we think, let's pick ballroom tango for instance, if we did just the 2 steps of a progressive link, we need to make sure that leaders, you turn your body to the right for step 2. So it's not just the arm. If I did it in the naughty way, I'm sorry,
Again.
I'm putting you through it today, aren't I? So there's our nice tango hold. To get to a promenade position, what I don't want to do is do quick and turn the arms. Because then, as you can see, we haven't got a very pleasant shoulder line at all, and we can't follow each other from here. It's just led through the arms, and that's not how it should be. Instead, we want to do something with the body. The body action is supported by the legs, and that's always a great place to do the action from. These are the strong muscles there, and these are the smaller muscles, at least they are for me anyway. And what we want to do here instead is turn that body. So we've got quick, turn, quick. And there we've turned the body round. The arms maintain the same line as our shoulder line. It's not distorted, it's along that same line, and then we can have a nice clear lead and follow. We can maintain our bodies working together in that position rather than falling away from each other. Equally, when you're coming out of promenade position, if you did something like a closed finish, make sure you know where the switch is and when it's going to work. So watch out for those places. There's plenty in Latin as well. Think about all those places where you think our connection or our body feeling is broken down with each other, and see if you can fix them, and it gives a much better state for both of you.
Good. So, last point, as James actually mentioned at the beginning, lead and follow is an invitation to dance and then a choice to accept it and go with it. So that means that our actions and our steps are not going to happen at exactly the same time. You might think, well, but we're dancing to the same music and the teachers are giving us the correct timing. We dance quick, quick, slow. So how is that not happening at the same time? Well, leader is going to initiate his body movement and then pass it on to the follower. Now I'm going to start dancing my action, and then eventually leader will follow that action.
I'll arrive sometime later on the scene, I think. So I'm following what I've led.
Exactly. So he's inviting me to dance, and it will take me a while to get that information passed from, well, if you say we're going to dance rumba basic, so forward and replace. So it would take a while for the information to be passed from leader's center all the way through the toned arm, through the body to my toned arm, and then from my toned arm all the way from my body to my center. It's not happening at the same time. It needs a little bit of time to go through. So James is going to start, I'm going to prepare, and I'm going to move, then I'm moving a little bit later. Okay, can you see that? So if we show you an example of a hip twist, that's a good one in the rumba. It shows that lovely elastic relationship and the feel. So dance and slow and quick, quick and slow and. We'll show that again. I enjoyed that one actually.
So I feel like there's a cause and an effect happens there.
So James is causing the action, and
Especially
my settling
there.
here is the reaction, and then over here as well. I'm reacting to the turn from the body. Okay, so this is one little thing. It's a cause and effect. It's not happening at the same time. If we dance it at the same time, you would see very little elastic feel. It would just be a bit robotic going through the steps, which we are not going to show you because I don't like it. I don't like that feel. To practice all your lead and follows while you're dancing, it's good not to follow a set routine. And sometimes you might sort of break it into the chunk. So this is my little group, this is second group, this is third group. So to start with, you may just alternate the groups and jumble the groups. But also it's good, particularly if you go to the very crowded ballroom, at a nice big event, big ball, there's a lot of people around you, and then you won't crash into other couples or to furniture.
Crash.
Hardcore crash. No, definitely not. We need to be very polite and floorcraft minded when we're dancing around other people.
I think that's a really good point. Trying to break away from your routines, if you have set routines, and get used to a lead and a follow connection. And that's what we said at the very outset. Before you start the dance, make sure when you take your hold or you take a connection, it's with that intention that you're going to lead and follow. Even if they are the actions you might be expecting, every time you dance them, they're going to be a little bit different, aren't they? And it's good to pick up on that, I think. Hopefully, some of those things will help a little bit of motivation of lead and follow. Maybe we've given you some ideas, take away some of those exercises and practice them, and have some fun with it, because that's really what it's for. It can build a spontaneity into the dancing that's really quite enjoyable. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Great.
Hope it was useful for you.
If you found it useful, give us a thumbs up below or leave us a comment, and we'll do some more sometime as well. Thanks very much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.